Will Americans who go to Sochi be safe? We thought it a good day to bring in a guy who knows a lot about security and has actually worked in Olympics from a security standpoint, our good friend Dan Bongino. Dan, good morning to you. How are you?
Hey, guys. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right. So the thing that concerns us now is that apparently some people who have an inside read on the intelligence are raising some serious concerns about whether or not Americans will be safe. Listen to this guy. He is named Michael McCall. He's the Republican chairman of the Homeland Security Committee up on Capitol Hill. Here's what he said.
I think what we're going to see are more explosions like we saw at the train station and the bus. There are softer targets outside of the perimeter that are close to the Olympic Village where they can make the same statement. They know that the eyes of the world now are on these Olympics. And what better way to make a statement than at these Olympics? And that's my concern.
In a word, he says an attack is likely. What do you believe about the things that you have read, and how can you secure these Olympics?
Yeah, well, I happen to agree with them. If you had a continuing scale of, definite, likely, probably, I think likely is just about right.
We're in the red zone here.
Yeah, exactly, in the red zone. This has been a litany of errors. The first one was obviously the site selection. They picked the site in Sochi, which from a terrorist standpoint was a dream. Relatively isolated, lack of interconnected roads, so there's really not a way out if you were to attack a transportation route. The infrastructure wasn't there. It had to be built. It's being built chaotically at the last minute. There's really no place to house all the security personnel, so that was the first error. The second error clearly has been the lack of international cooperation here. I mean, allowing 40 FBI agents to come in and semi-audit your security plan is a joke. I mean, if we have 40 guys at a presidential site, Brian, wouldn't even be we'd have 40 guys at the front door alone at one site. So
yeah.
This is bad news.
So you don't think that the Russians have been particularly helpful here in allowing the Americans the kind of access that they need and giving them the kind of intelligence that they need to really make an assessment of how dangerous the threat might be?
Exactly, and I hate this word. It's so overused, especially in things like politics and security. But this is really a holistic approach. I mean, these events, the security has to be scaled to the scale of the event. This is an international event on the grandest of scales. It should have been an international security effort like our effort in Salt Lake was in 2002. We learned from Lake Placid in 1980, which was a logistics nightmare, and the security operations have grown ever since. But this was not an international effort. This was largely a Vladimir Putin effort. Listen, even the international intelligence, volumes of information that could have been used by the Russians to tailor the security plan was lost because they wanted to do, it was like no soup for you. It's our plan, get lost, beat it. They're not even allowing private security in there that hasn't been vetted by the Russians. So I think it is likely that there's going to be an attack. And I say that with no schadenfreude at the Russians at all.
Our guest is New York Times best-selling author Dan Bongino. His book, Life Inside the Bubble, of course, pretty fresh on the presses there. You can still get it at Amazon. Also, he's the candidate for Congress from Maryland's 6th District. And let's focus on that aspect of it. I mean, a year from now, you might be sitting there. I mean, if I were part of Republican leadership and freshman Congressman Bongino is sitting there in the pool, I would put you right on the Homeland Security Committee. I mean, that's where you belong at the very least. So you're on that committee now, and you see that 15,000 Americans are about to travel abroad for these Olympics, and you are voicing these concerns. What is your responsibility as an elected official to protect Americans abroad, and do you think that the executive branch, headed by President Obama, has done his job here?
I don't. First off, great job in the afternoon show. I really enjoyed it. Listened to your interview yesterday on the prayer in school, so really well done.
Thanks, Dan.
But listen, if I was in Congress now, I mean, what can we do tangibly? It's easy to complain. Everybody's, always whining about something. They need to demand, the President and Congress, an international security audit right now where we can do these red cell type operations. In other words, where we can test the security ourselves. Kind of like at the TSA when we put the fake explosives.
Okay, yeah.
Now, they did that. The Russians did it, and here are the numbers, and this should really frighten you, especially if you're headed over there. They sent 48 red cell operatives through, the Russians, fake terrorists. You know how many got through? 25.
Whoa.
So, yeah, that's a fact.
That's more than 50% success rate.
Yeah, not good for the terrorists, very bad for the Russians. So they need to demand the full security audit now. It's going to put the Russians on the spot. If they say no, it seems like they have something to hide, and God forbid something happens, it puts the ball in their corner.
Hold on. You say that in the test, the people who are given the task of saying, see if you can penetrate our security.
Our iron ring.
So there were 40 people?
48.
48. And how many got through? 29?
25 got
It
through.
Doesn't take but one.
That's right.
That Brian, that's the sad irony here is that, as the IRA once told the Brits when they tried to hit Margaret Thatcher at the hotel and just missed her with that bomb, they said, we only have to be lucky once. You have to be lucky every day. 25 out of 48 is really pathetic.
But here's the other side of it, Dan. I mean, let me just argue the other side of it, and that is that, okay, if we don't go, then the terrorists win, and we can't allow that.
Yeah, and that's not wrong. And unfortunately, I don't have an easy answer to that one. You're absolutely right. I mean, what do terrorists want more than anything? They want eyeballs, they want attention, and they want an international audience. And we're about to give it to them. Do we pull our athletes out? We don't have the ability, frankly, to do that. These athletes are private citizens. I mean, I guess the International Olympic Committee could step in, but there's no easy answer here. That's why I said that security audit, I think that is the answer, because there's still time to fix this. I mean, we put together a security operation for President Obama, Brian, in an active war zone in Afghanistan in about 5 days. You can fix this, and you can fix it quickly, but not if Putin's going to continue to obstruct.
All right, Dan Bongino, you know your stuff on this, that's for sure. Thanks for joining us.
Every time I learn more about this, I become more concerned.
Yeah. He's running for Congress there in Maryland's 6th District. Check him out at Bongino.com. Thanks, Dan.
Hey, thanks, guys.